Okay, we're back here in our meeting place and at the coffee place. I don't want to necessarily mention the location, putting it online and stuff, but and Joey's here too.
Hello.
Yeah. So, and we had another new visitor earlier. I won't mention her name, but she comes from another one of the freedom groups. That's where I met her. And maybe we'll see more of her in the future. And I guess in the first part, we'll say this is part 2, because we're shooting this on February the 15th. We talked about mainly the Robert F. Kennedy Jr. confirmation as Director of Health and Human Services, which is a huge step in the right direction. And we also talked about
Tulsi's confirmation, which is
Tulsi Gabbard's confirmation.
Great, because since she has a military background, and they do have a rivalry with the intelligence agencies, because the intelligence agencies are the ones that set policy, and a lot of the information, or we could call it misinformation, that has come from the intelligence agencies has caused a lot of military action across the world, funded by the U.S. The Syrian regime change that was funded by the CIA and the Timber Sycamore. Tulsi Gabbard pointed that out during the years when Obama was funding it, and it was a strong cost to her, because she knew that if it didn't go as planned, U.S. troops were going to be on the ground. I'm not saying that they're not already on the ground, but they would be actively fighting Syrian army soldiers, like the legit military of Syria. And also, she thought they were fighting Al Qaeda, but realizing that they're actually funding Al Qaeda, which was the reason that she joined the military in the first place, because after 9/11 happened, she joined, among other people from her ranks, they joined the military to go fight the war on terror.
That was the whole idea, right?
Yeah.
She said that. I've heard her say that live in person.
Yeah.
And which is just for a little side note here. This is from the Tulsi Gabbard 2020 campaign. We all got one of these, so I just thought I'd share that. Aloha. Go ahead, MJ.
Oh yeah, and then since after 9/11 she joined the military, so she had a lot of friends that went and unfortunately died, but it was based on lies, with Bush's weapons of mass destruction, and calling power gun to the UN and showing the fake flask of I believe it was anthrax, supposedly what it was labeled, but this came from lies from
anthrax.
Anthrax.
Yeah.
And it was lies from the intelligence agencies, which is now she's going to be the head of, director of, and she's going to have oversight over all the intelligence agencies, and hopefully she will force them to tell her the truth on what's going on, because she does not want to risk sending U.S. troops to foreign interventions and risk American lives.
Exactly. And there's also too, I think, the piece in all of this that and not just with these confirmations or topics of the day even, but historical topics or topics that will be coming up in the future. It all goes back to things that don't get talked about very often or at all, and that's related to economics, and this is more and more of our conversations, is that what is not being talked about, or if you hear something in the mainstream media, the truth is probably the opposite of what you're hearing.
Yeah.
So in other words, it's knowing how to use critical thinking skills and being able to analyze and think for yourself, right? And not just take things, someone's word for it, or look at it word for word, or as the way it appears to be, because oftentimes it's not the way it appears at all. And I think those of us here at CPI definitely know that. And Joey, you obviously too, right? Things are not the way they appear to be. So, and the same thing, we're going to talk more about this as time goes on, like say, as we hear more about the confirmations, there was something regarding mandates. I heard, was it people can no longer be mandated for vaccines? Where did I hear that? Was it in education? So all those education mandates are gone.
Yeah.
They're gone. That's one of the executive orders of Trump. And that I just saw that today, actually. And also another thing that we at CPI ought to be aware of is Bernie Sanders going on his
Fight the oligarchy.
Stop the Oligarchy tour. We'll get more information on that, but apparently he's going on a tour, and we'll have some more to say about that. And April 19th in LA, CPI LA will introduce a workshop with Caleb Maupin. That's the plan. We'll have more information as we discuss it and roll it out. But we've confirmed that date, so stay tuned for more information.
We're gonna make sure that we do as much outreach as we can, so we can get at least 20 to 40 people to come join and interact with us and discuss about the issues of importance, and have Caleb there to guide us in a more economic way, so we could come up with events further down the line in LA that we could organize and fight for government of action that fights for working families.